I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I catch myself believing in the weirdest things, like knocking on wood or avoiding the number 13. And then I think people hundreds of years ago were doing the exact same thing, only way more extreme. They didn't just avoid bad luck, they burned people at the stake for it. And it makes me wonder, have we really changed that much? Or are today's TikTok hacks, astrology charts, and conspiracy theories just the modern version of the same old story? Back in the Middle Ages, life wasn't about science or logic. It was about survival. And survival was wrapped in superstition. Imagine this. You're baking bread. It doesn't rise. And suddenly your neighbors think you've signed a deal with the devil. You sneeze too loud and you're possessed. A black cat crosses your path and boom, bad omen. You're doomed. And if the moon turned red during an eclipse? Forget it. That was basically a mass panic festival. Prayers, bells ringing, everyone convinced the apocalypse had finally RSVP'd. But here's the kicker. Swap out the robes and bonfires for Wi-Fi and hashtags, and tell me it doesn't sound familiar. Instead of eclipses, we freak out when TikTok goes down for an hour. Instead of demons, we blame Mercury in retrograde when our emails don't send. We don't burn witches anymore. We just roast each other on Twitter. Same drama, new stage. And the salt thing. Oh, salt was a big deal. Spill some at the table, and you've basically summoned Lucifer. People threw it over their shoulders to blind him before he got too close. Today, we don't throw salt. We throw smoothies into Instagram stories with captions like, "Cleansing negative energy." At least medieval people ended up with seasoned food. We just end up with overpriced kale juice that tastes like lawn clippings. But belief didn't stop at superstition. People also needed objects, tangible proof that the divine was real. Relics. We're talking saints' bones, pieces of the true cross, even random rocks blessed by a priest. People walked for weeks just to touch them, hoping for healing, forgiveness, or maybe a VIP seat in heaven. Sound silly? Maybe. But look around today. People still camp out overnight, not for relics, but for sneaker drops. We pay hundreds for limited edition hoodies, blessed water bottles, and $70 candles that promise good vibes. Back then, relics promised eternal salvation. Today, they promise likes. And let's be honest, the line outside the Apple Store on launch day looks a lot like a medieval pilgrimage. Different relic, same devotion. And think about bragging rights. In the 1400s, your uncle flexed about touching a saint's finger bone. In 2025, your cousin flexes about copying Yeezys before they sold out. Both are just different ways of saying, I'm special. I got access. Even kings and rulers weren't above belief. In fact, they were chained to it. Picture an army ready for battle, weapons polished, adrenaline pumping, and then the general says, hold up. Jupiter's not in position yet. Everybody chill. Oracles and prophets had insane power. One bad omen could cancel a war. Now fast forward to today. The robes are gone, but the hustle's still here. Prophets became life coaches. Oracles became YouTube gurus. Instead of reading goat entrails, they read motivational quotes. Back then, you sacrificed a goat to get answers. Today, you sacrifice your bank account for a Manifest Abundance Masterclass. And fun fact, both usually end with someone richer. And it's not you, but people listened. If an oracle said, don't marry her, the wedding was off. If the stars weren't aligned, the king waited. Imagine modern politicians delaying a decision because their astrologer told them not to. Actually, considering how some decisions go, maybe they already do. And then there's astrology itself. This one just refuses to die. For centuries, entire civilizations planned their lives by the stars. Crops were planted, armies marched, and marriages arranged only if the constellations said, yes. Saturn's cranky? Sorry, wedding's canceled. Mars looking weird? No invasions this week? Now, armies don't pause for horoscopes anymore. But dating apps sure do. Sorry, you're a Gemini, I don't need that energy. Astrologers once guided empires. Now they guide breakups. The stars no longer control nations. But they absolutely control Tinder. And here's the funny part. People say science killed astrology. But open TikTok and you'll see daily horoscopes, zodiac memes, and people blaming Mercury for their bad haircut. Science didn't kill astrology. It just gave it better graphics. But beliefs aren't just about guidance. They're about blame. Humans hate randomness. If something bad happens, we need a villain. In the Middle Ages, it was demons. Crops failed? Demons. Child sneezed? Demons. Stub your toe? Yep, demons again. Everything was demons. Today, we've just upgraded the cast. Now it's lizard people, secret societies, shadow governments, and evil Wi-Fi towers. Medieval peasants blamed demons for broken cartwheels. We blame 5G for bad phone service. Honestly, demons might have been simpler. At least they didn't need a monthly data plan. But here's the real truth. Blaming invisible enemies makes us feel safer. If the problem is demons or lizard people, then maybe we can fight it. If it's just bad luck, well, that's terrifying. So we invent stories. We'd rather imagine monsters than admit sometimes things just happen. And then there are miracles. Oh, we love miracles. Back then, someone walking on water could start a whole religion. People gathered, stories spread, and civilizations shifted forever. Today, someone walks barefoot across Lego and racks up 20 million views. Humanity hasn't stopped craving awe. We've just traded holy scriptures for TikTok captions. Instead of sainthood, you get sponsorship deals. Instead of gospel, you get memes. Miracles didn't die. They just went viral. Think about that. In one era, a man walking on water inspired worship. In ours, a guy balancing 37 cheeseburgers on his head inspires 3 million likes. The awe is the same. The standards just dropped. So, have we really changed? Not much. We swapped torches for touchscreens, relics for merch, prophets for podcasts. But at the core, humans are still the same. Desperate to believe in something. And maybe that's not a weakness. Maybe it's our superpower. Belief drives us to keep going, to build, to tell stories. Without it, life would be unbearably random. Unbearably boring. Whether it's witches, or Wi-Fi, omens, or online trends, belief is the glue that holds our chaos together. One day, people will look back at us the same way we look back at medieval peasants. They'll laugh at our horoscopes, our juice cleanses, our obsession with likes, and our devotion to influencer merch. But that's the pattern of history. It's not about how much smarter we get. It's about how endlessly creative we are at finding new things to believe in. The truth is, belief never disappears. It just changes outfits. Yesterday it wore robes. Today it wears Wi-Fi. Tomorrow, who knows? Maybe we'll believe in AI's whispering prophecies. Maybe the next relic will be digital. Maybe the next miracle will happen in the metaverse. So the real question isn't, will we keep believing? The real question is, what's next? And if history has taught us anything, it's this. No matter the century, no matter the technology, humans will always find something to worship, something to fear, and something to laugh about later. That story never ends.